market's in complete mayhem, but we have lots lined up for you on the show because there's even Q3 earnings that have been constantly trickling in. One is, of course, Bank of Maharashtra. Now, the loss figure in the bank has widened considerably on a year-on-year basis, coming in at 596 crore rupees, whereas the NII has risen 22%. Provisions are higher by 60% sequentially. That's the NPA provisions I'm talking about. So let's dissect down these numbers with Mr. R.P. Marathe, the CEO and the MD of Bank of Maharashtra. Mr. Marathe, appreciate you giving us your time on ET now, and I must immediately start off this discussion by talking about the widening of the losses and high provisions. What is the reason, for these two numbers coming in as so disappointing?
Yeah, thank you for this opportunity. Basically, the increase in the losses has been contributed by a couple of factors. Number one is coming from the treasury side. Our treasury income has been down by 100 crores, and added to that was the MTM losses of 100 crores. So 200 crores have come from the treasury side. As far as the NCLT is concerned, the 20 accounts in the two lists of NCLT, we have made additional provisions of 375 crores to keep up with the guidelines of the Reserve Bank of India. Apart from that, there has been a migration provision of the NPAs, old NPAs migrating to the lower categories. On that, we had made provisions of 250 crores, and the normal provisions on account of some slippages, big slippages, has been to the tune of 350 crores. These slippages which I am talking of is outside the NCLT list. So that was the gross number. It adds up to about 1200 crores of unusual factors, I can say, barring of course the regular provisions which we keep doing. So that was mainly the impact. And as far as the slippages are concerned, the gross NPAs have marginally moved up from 17,239 to 18,128 crores, and in that also there are only three big accounts which I can say are more than 100 crores. So out of total slippages of 1,500 crores, 1,000 crore is contributed by roughly three accounts, three or four accounts. Otherwise, the slippages have been well contained. Sequentially, the slippages in the Q1 were to the tune of 1,600 crores, which came down to 1,000 crores in Q2, and barring these two or three accounts, our slippages would have been about 600 to 700 crores in this quarter also. So this has basically changed the whole equation, and that is why these NPAs are at 19% as against 18.5%.
Right. Right. Mr. Marathe, allow me to just come in over there. I'm not sure if you mentioned this, but I just want to know what your if there were any recoveries or upgrades in the last quarter. You ran me through the slippages number and the provisions number. Were there any recoveries or upgrades?
Yeah. There is a very positive news on that. As far as the cash recoveries are concerned, they are 1,300 crores as against full year recovery of 800 crores last year. As far as the total upgrades are concerned, it is 329 crores as against full year of upgradation of 150 crores. So it is almost doubled in the 9 months of this year. The total recovery has been to the tune of 1,400 crores, including the recovery in the technically written off accounts or the unapplied interest recovery. All put together, it has been 1,422 crores in 9 months as against the full year recovery of 876 crores. And there has also been marginal amount of technical write-off this quarter, so the total write-off has also contributed to the reduction in our top line of NPAs.
Okay, could you also give us a sense of what's the exposure to RBI, IBC accounts, both the first list and second list?
Yeah, we have 10 accounts in the list 1 and equal number of accounts in list 2. Put together, the total exposure stands at around 6,131 crores, and the residual provision which we will have to make in the current quarter will be only 431 crores, both on list 1 and list 2 put together, and that will take the provisioning coverage to roughly 60% on these 20 accounts. And our overall provisioning coverage ratio has also gone up from 49% to 54% this quarter.
All right, Mr. Marathe, thanks a lot for taking time out and chatting with us about some key highlights of the third quarter for Bank of Maharashtra. It was great having you on the show.